All right, our next guest up, she's an actress. She's a singer, she's a writer. Let's give a late night welcome for Candice Guardino, everybody. Woo. What's up, sweetie?
Hello,
How are you? Thank you.
Hi. We know each other.
Yes, it's good to see you again.
Hello. Oh, wait. I gotta put this on.
There you go.
Would you like me to do you too?
I want to see that. I'm only kidding. It's all good. So anyway, you're from Brooklyn too.
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, lived there
Born
for
in
about a
Brooklyn.
year, and then I moved to Staten Island with my family as a little baby, so to speak.
And then where'd you go to the city or no?
No, and then I grew up in Staten Island, and then I went to college in Staten Island.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I'm a Staten Island girl.
All right.
He didn't know that.
We just met about a month. We just met through Dominic about a month ago.
Yes, the Dettori family, the wonderful Dettori family.
That's it.
Yeah, that's how
Nice.
I know Johnny now. Yeah.
Dominic's like, Johnny B,
Small
you gotta
world.
get this girl on. You got to put her on next month.
Yes.
All right, you go.
Thanks, Dominic and the family. We love them. They're awesome.
Now, when you talk about another one, you have a big Italian family.
I
When you
do.
talk about that, how you grew up
Yeah.
Italian, big issue with you.
Well, because it's Italian, it is an issue, I guess, right? Yeah, I grew up in a very big Italian family. My family is your quintessential Italians, where there's the grandmother is the matriarch of the family. I got my mom, my dad, and it's just me and my sister, actually. There's not like a ton of us running around, but you would think if you were standing outside the house that there was 25 people in the house because it's so loud.
Yeah.
So you would think that it's like a bunch of us in there. And yeah, it was the Sunday mornings with the biggest pot of sauce or gravy, depending on what side of Italians you are, and grandma stirring the biggest pot of sauce,
big
with
pot.
a cigarette hanging out around. Yeah, so I grew up in that sort of limelight of Italians. So yeah.
Now, in your opinion, what's the difference of being Italian and being stereotype Italian?
Oh, that's a great question. I think there is a difference between a stereotype as someone, to me, who is not Italian, trying to be Italian, that watches a couple of Italian movies and goes, this is what they do. Oh.
Or the wannabe gangsters?
Oh, yeah, not really. I mean, and the quintessential Italian could be anything. It's how you grow up. I mean, for me, a lot of my writing is not Italian style, but it could be some sort of, I would say, ethnic humor. And ethnic could be anything. And that to me is, it's relative. But I would say stereotype is just someone who watches something and goes, I'm going to impersonate that, and then calls himself Italian.
Well, the guys that watch Goodfellas about 50 times.
Yes.
I watched it about 60. But
Thank you. I mean, I could do every line
And
at
then
this
they
point.
recite lines of.
Or like I had a kid that I went to school with who was like, I watched The Godfather.
Yeah, like to be taught.
Okay, I mean that doesn't make you Italian. Those. So to me, stereotypes. We have to be careful of those.
Now, you're a singer, you do act and you write. What got you into the arts, and how old were you?
Yeah, I was super young. I was probably about 3 or 4 for my first dance recital. And you don't know your child's 3 or 4 years old. I doubt my mother knew what I was going to be doing with my life, but she got an inkling when all the little girls are crying on stage. They wanted to get off, and they're walking off, and I'm like continuing the routine by myself. I didn't care if the other girls were dropping dead. I mean, I just kept going. So I think she kind of started to go, oh, my daughter's into this, and it just stuck. It's something you fall in love with. It's something that every day when you wake up, that's what's on your mind. You just wake up and you go, I want to write, I want to perform, and I want to do what I have to do to get there. So I think you don't want to say it's
You got to have the passion for it.
It's in you. My acting teacher once told me, and I'll never forget it. He said, when you roll out of bed and your feet hit the floor, if you can think of anything else to do besides acting and performing, do it. He said, because it's such a hard road. But I couldn't think of anything else. So
Well,
for me.
I want to talk about Italian Bread, which you actually
fabulous.
wrote.
I did.
And it's an off-Broadway show. It's
is.
incredible. I came to see it when Vinnie Pastore did a cameo in it.
Thank you.
It was incredible.
Oh, thanks.
I was blown away. How did you even come up with that?
Talk about that, because that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, I think what's unbelievable is it's funny. I mean, I love that we say the word unbelievable, so thank you. But I think it's amazing how people ask me, how do you do all those characters? I mean, I grew up with these characters. My mother, my father, they're wonderful people, but at the end of the day, we're all kind of characters. So impersonating them and telling my story in that fashion, to me, was the only way to do it, instead of casting my mom as someone or casting
Why
an
don't you
actor.
tell everybody who don't know about it exactly what it is?
So Italian Bread is my one-woman show that I have wrote and created, and it's coming back to off-Broadway, 8 shows a week, starting in March of 2014. And I am... Oh, thank you.
Good.
Thank you. And I impersonate all of my family members, and I talk about what it was like growing up in Staten Island in my household, and probably all of your households. I mean, it's very relatable at this point. I'm just a regular girl, so to speak, that grew up in a household that we all kind of grew up
And
in.
I have to say that she going from one character to another, you're gonna be blown away. Anyone who sees the show is gonna be blown away.
When I
Thank
first
That's all
saw
I'm
it,
saying. I'm not
you.
gonna say more,
You know,
but
can I just hire you to hang out with me?
yeah, sure.
God, let's just hang out.
When I first saw it, as Dominic showed it to me, I was like, this lady's crazy.
Yeah, a little bit. I agree with you. I think you have to remember who your family is. I think Vinny said it earlier. Remember where you came from. I mean, I grew up in Staten Island, and it's important to be a part of that and never give that up because it keeps your feet on the ground. You
Now,
have
when
to.
Vinny Pastore was on, what do you do? I heard that you bring celebrity guests on every now and then. How's that
Yeah.
work? Who'd you have on?
We had on Vinny Pastore. We had the Reverend Bob Levy, who's an
great.
amazing comedian.
He'll
We
be
had
here one
Jim.
day.
Yeah, we had Jim Florentine, who's an amazing
Awesome.
comedian. We had Dominic Dottori and Janine Dottori, who are wonderful people and
Get
were like
out.
actors on it. I will tell you. They were good. They were actors. And that was a particular performance we gave back to a wonderful charity, Guy on Rescue, who helped the victims of Hurricane Sandy. So that was really important to me. So
That's
yeah, I was
great.
so
I
happy
didn't know
that
that.
they were all willing to be involved, and it was great. And it's called Italian bread, which makes me laugh because I love Italian bread. And at this point in my life, the word Italian bread, but it's B-R-E-D, has changed for me now because it's a show. So I love Italian bread.
Where could people find you on the internet?
Goodness. Okay, you can find me at CandiceGuardino.com. You can find my current one-woman show at ItalianBreadShow.com, and that's B-R-E-D. And we open March 2014 in Manhattan, in the middle of Times Square. And you can find me
Beautiful.
on Facebook, Twitter, all those fun sites. We want you there. I want you there. He's laughing.
No, because I
it's
got a
definitely
little choked
you
up.
definitely have to see it because I would go see it again.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Candice Guardino. All right. What a charming young lady, huh?
I love her. She's hysterical.